I'm Sharo Dickerson. I'm currently the Director of Assessment, Accountability, Research, and School Improvement at Las Cruces Public Schools.
All right. Welcome to the show, Sharo.
Thank you.
Las Cruces, New Mexico, right?
Las Cruces, New Mexico. That's right.
Okay. University of New Mexico? Or what's the college?
It's Las Cruces Public Schools.
Okay. All right. But what's the college there?
It's a public school district. It's K to 12.
Okay.
The college that aligns with Las Cruces, it would be University of New Mexico.
UNM.
UNM.
Okay.
That is right.
My nephew went to...
I'm sorry. No, it's New Mexico State University. My bad.
Okay.
NMSU. My bad. NMSU. Oh my God, they're going to punish me.
Video and on video. Oh, girl. The topic just changed.
I'm going to be in trouble. Forgive me.
Yeah. So the conversation let me back up. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I've had you on. How many food tours have you been on?
Probably 3 at least.
Yeah. Philadelphia.
Philly, definitely.
San Antonio, I want to say.
Yes, absolutely. There was one more. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember which one.
But definitely those 2.
Yeah.
Amazing experience, by the way. Thank you for doing that.
Absolutely. I've been training for tonight's food tour.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we're here to discuss specifically like AI.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a particular experience with AI that you'd like to share and how it kind of saved you and changed your life, right? Okay.
That's a great question. So, imagine, believe it or not, 30 years in education.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Worn many hats. And I've never imagined a day will come where AI will be part of my career. So even though the role that I have in Las Cruces, New Mexico, in Las Cruces Public Schools, is mostly about assessment and accountability, AI has really helped in not only automation, but most especially creating bots, creating agents that I can be it's like an extension of myself. So whenever school testing coordinators, and they're mostly assistant principals, need help with any information about assessment and accountability, then I'm able to create an internal agent and they're able to engage with it. So if I'm not available for a phone call, or they can't locate it on a website, or it's just, we haven't met in person, they can engage with the agent and they can ask their questions and get their information.
Okay. So for those people who don't know what a bot or an agent is, because they're 2 different things.
Correct.
How would you define a bot?
So a bot is really, I call it just a very basic AI feature, AI tool, where it is programmed to respond to very simple questions. You would usually find this on websites.
Okay.
And if you have an inquiry, let's say, what is the phone number or who is the person I can contact, wanting to find this information, then as long as the bot is programmed to do so, then it will be able to give you that information. It's limited. It's not, it's a very one-way kind of communication. You ask a question, it gives you a response as long as it is in what I call its data bank. Then it will give you that information.
In its data set.
Its data set.
And the data set could be a variety of websites. It could be a document, a huge PDF that you upload, things like that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's your basic bot.
Correct.
When you say agent, that's where people lose the conversation. I don't know what it is. Or they misuse and they say, oh yeah, like a chatbot.
Yes.
An agent's different than that.
Correct.
Talk us through what an agent is.
Absolutely. So with an agent, what's interesting is that through the lens of an educator, because we are in ISTE in the first place, right?
That's right.
Whenever I use an AI tool for instruction, I always stem it from pedagogy. I'm a big person on that. So best practices are very essential. And I'm also a very big critical thinker. So when I create an agent, I let it act as, for example, as a teacher of this particular grade level. And these are the standards, common standards, or whatever standards you use in your state. that I'm teaching for this particular subject area, and it's broken down into how many 9 weeks. So pretty much you design it very specifically with a purpose, but the purpose is not to give direct answers to any participant who engages, but you can have it make the participant think. So the agent will ask questions like, well, if you are having, let's say, a challenge in, for example, solving fractions. Well, have you tried this? Or do you know what a numerator is? Do you know what a denominator is? So it will ask questions that kind of coach or guides the participant.
Okay.
And it will help, hopefully, have the participant be able to understand and get to the solution without being dictated what that solution is.
Okay. All right. What platform are you using to build these with?
So I have different platforms.
All right.
I'm not like an AR hogger. I'm so sorry.
AR hogger.
That's my term now, hashtag AR hogger. So I use, like, for my operational stuff, I use Claude. I also use Gemini for that. I also have Copilot, and not so much for ChatGPT. Maybe during the initial stages, then I moved away from that.
Okay.
Because I wanted something more specific to the role that to the job that I do. And now for, let's say, front facing for my participants or for my students, and I combine it with these major ones like Gemini to help, again, triangulate. So I love triangulating, comparing different AI tools and see what would it generate. Would there be some hallucinations? Would there be some commonalities? Or would there be some differences? And of course, I'm the human being, so I will determine what is the best from all of the information that I'm able to gather.
Okay. All right. So what types of agents and bots have you created for your role?
Ooh, I love that question. So I created with Copilot an agent specifically just to, let's say, have my participants learn the different assessments in New Mexico. New Mexico is unique, unlike in other states where probably they just have one kind of assessment. In New Mexico, assessments are driven by student groups. So there are a set of assessments for bilingual students, also a set of assessments for special education, and another set of assessments for the general education. So since there are multiple portals and multiple assessments, there is a tendency to have multiple types of manuals. So I just created an agent in Copilot where at least teachers and even the assistant principals can find out what is the portal am I to use in order for me to get to this kind of assessment.
Okay.
So very basic, very simple. And then it grew now. I'm able now to use it as a coach, as a mentor. So it's called testing, like a test coordinator mentor. So this time it's going to ask them questions. So pretty much my agent starts with, how can I help you today? Right? I know it's not everybody's a big fan of that, but simple things like that, because you have no time to read a long introduction.
Yeah.
So when teachers or assistant principals will ask, well, I need help with, let's say, an assessment in bilingual, then it will list what kind of assessment. Is it for English learners? Is it because there's different types?
Yeah.
And so it is able to provide questions, driving questions, coaching or mentoring questions to help the participant really hone in as to what they're asking. Because sometimes they think they know what they're asking until it ends up into the details. Then it gives them the right information or the closest answer to what they're seeking. That's what they're able to say, oh, so this is what I needed, not the other one. If you look at it through the branch of questions, I'm able to monitor the participants who ask questions. And if I see a level of frustration, then I know I need to connect with that assistant principal who is a testing coordinator, or if it's a teacher, I still go back and call the assistant principal and say, hey, you have these teachers who are struggling with this information with the assessment.
Okay. So you're able to take data and turn it into actionable steps.
Exactly. And also it gives me feedback in terms of the materials that I release digitally, and also see what works for teachers. So with my work, I don't necessarily train teachers directly like I used to. It is through different channels. So your school testing coordinators, that's primarily my audience. So if I see some challenges faced by participants, then I can refine the work that I do and release better micro-learning, snippets of information that is more, I would say, that people can absorb better and faster, and they can implement it. And you can now build different ones. So in my head already, I'm planning when I get back, to Las Cruces, is that, okay, I'm learning different things here at ISTE, right? So all the different bots being featured. You showed some. Eric also showed some in your session this morning. I went to your session.
You were in the session?
Was there.
I didn't see you there. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
So I was taking notes like, okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. So just all these different things.
Yeah.
I call them like micro or snippets of learning that teachers can absorb, because not everybody has time for just 15 minutes. It has to be less than 5 minutes, like real fast, really easy.
You know what? It's like an ad.
Yes.
Like when I get like when I'm watching like Netflix or something and I get an ad and it says like 30 seconds, I'm like, oh.
Isn't that crazy?
Gosh, 30 seconds. I can't do it.
Forever.
Yeah. And then it'll say like 1 of 2. And it's like, I got to watch 2.
Too much of my attention.
Yeah. So with educators, we have a very small moment, a window of opportunity to get their attention and keep it.
Exactly. Yes. It's hard. Adult learners are the hardest group of people to teach.
I'm going to replace the word hardest and say the worst.
Oh my God.
Group.
And I'm trying to be nice about it.
Yeah. In a good way. They're the worst in a good way. Because teachers are counselors, they're teachers, they're mentors, they're parents, they're surrogate parents, they're everything. You name it.
Yeah, exactly.
They take on all those roles, and it is mentally taxing. My wife who was a first grade teacher now is a instructional specialist at the district level. Hey, congratulations, Erica.
Yeah.
She would come home, and it's sometimes it's not physically draining, it's emotionally draining.
It is, yes.
Yeah. So we have to, and those bots and things that you're creating, if they don't get me from point A to point D very quickly, that yellow frustration flag.
They're gone. And they're not going to come back. And if you try to bring them back, it's hard. It's harder. It's more challenging.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that a little bit earlier when you said, it makes you, by having that facing front facing, you're able to say, maybe what I'm putting out there is not clear enough. And you said that you're able to kind of clean stuff up and put a 2.0 and a 3.0 out there. Because sometimes there's this tendency to think like, oh, the kids don't get it. All of my students failed. They didn't get it. We got to put our ego aside and say, maybe I'm not teaching it correctly. Maybe what I'm putting out is not what they need.
Yes.
So it's hard. It's difficult.
It is difficult.
It's very difficult to say. Maybe
and again, as teachers, our classroom, it's our kingdom, whether you want to admit it or not. It is, people. It is. Yeah. And so since it is our kingdom, we're very protective of our students. But sometimes we lose track. And we think in our heads, in our minds, as we've gone through the process of planning already, designing that lesson, we forget who it is for.
Yeah.
So it's a good time to just kind of pause, hold on a minute, and reflect, and then get feedback, receive feedback graciously, and you can never tell. It can develop your lesson better.
They should understand it this way because that's how I learned it, right?
Yeah.
And if that's how I learned it, then does it hurt when I touch there? Does it hurt when I touch there? Yeah, absolutely. So, okay. So if I wanted to, or as you said, you're already kind of thinking of like a bot or something to build.
Yeah.
Take us through like a workflow. Like, how would that look? And you don't have to get into the super fine details,
of course.
Like, what is your workflow from beginning to bot number 1 iteration?
So it's helpful if you have a structure, a system in place, right?
Okay. All right.
So I would start off, let's say, surveys. And surveys is one way. That is just one of many. It could be just a simple conversation. It could happen during a meeting. The creation of the thought or idea.
When you say surveys, do you mean you build a survey, or do you say, or when you say survey, you mean you survey the teachers and see what it is they need?
So it could be both.
Okay.
And typically I would gravitate to just creating a survey
Okay.
and sending it out to the school testing coordinators. Again, I'm talking about the current job that I have, right?
Yeah.
And once they have a survey specifically for school testing coordinators, and then I'll create another survey for teachers. So then they would send that survey to the teachers, get some input. It doesn't have to be everybody,
Yeah.
but whoever finds it, look, I have to give her feedback on this because it just doesn't make sense. It is harder than it should be.
Yeah.
Then I will receive that feedback. And then I will follow up also with conversations now. So I would have monthly meetings with school testing coordinators, and we'll talk about it. And we're going to have some honest conversations, and sometimes they turn to be crucial conversations. So there's the human aspect of it. So you try to figure out, okay, since we have these different challenges, let's try to find the answer within. So I also empower the school testing coordinators by building capacity amongst themselves.
Yeah.
And there you have seasoned school testing coordinators, and you have newbies, the young ones, right?
Yeah.
So they talk in small groups, discuss. I gather that input, and then after that, use the tools now. So we're going to bring in the tools,
Okay.
and we're going to go take a look based on the different challenges and also possible solutions based
Data,
on the
the
survey, the
conversations.
data, the conversations.
Okay.
So you can't lose that human aspect. You need to be connected. You need to have discourse. You need to have a point of reflection and discussion, because you can't just create something in your mind by yourself without getting input from where the source is coming from. You know, if the purpose of your agent is for people who are in the classroom, you need to get their input. You cannot just create that just because
you think is
what
best.
you think is best. Correct.
All right. So when you say, okay, now let's get to the tools, what is, like, for someone who's never built one, what would be a good starting point?
You need to have the right mindset before you dive into AI. I mean, yes, there's so many AI tools. Some are fun, some
Yeah.
are creative, and there's nothing wrong with that. Some it's for production purposes, like create me this or give me this. And again, it's for whatever purpose you need it for.
Yeah.
But if you want a tool where it starts off by really banking on your human knowledge and human skill, and then it helps you create, but it doesn't replace your thought. It's just
Yeah.
giving you the ideas on how to make it better.
Okay. And then you build it. And then from there, what do you do?
So once I build it, test it, of course. You gotta
I was
test.
really hoping you were going to say that.
You're gonna test. You gotta do your own pilot.
Yeah.
So right now, the bot, the agent that I created is being tested right now by just
Okay.
random people coming from Central, bringing Central people, Central office people, and then also from the school testing coordinators. They're testing it. Some teachers, and so I'm just curious as to what information I'm gonna get.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, all right, you do some testing. And then what do you do after the testing? So you're going to follow up with those people. And
Yes.
what questions do you usually ask?
So I will ask questions like, well, what are some of the good experiences, the positive experiences while you're engaging with this agent? And so they say, well, I like this, I like that, right? So they'll give you like, I like the simplicity of it. And I like that I can just use my normal conversation language. And then it makes me think. So that's the thing, makes me think.
Okay.
And so when I hear that, I said, do you like the way it makes you think? Or would you prefer just giving you the answer? And so it's a mix. So some people will say, well, sometimes I just need a quick answer, a quick response. But also people would realize it's the way I ask the question. You just like, when you're trying to do
a yes or no question
a
kind of
yes
thing?
or no question. Yeah. Or even the way they construct a question, because in their head, they think they're asking the right question as they type it in, but it often turns into, oh, I asked the wrong question. That's why I'm getting the turnaround as to what exactly I needed help with.
I call it, like, I think about it with spreadsheets. With spreadsheets, and when you start building in equations and things like that,
Yeah.
and then it doesn't work in that, well,
Yeah.
bad data in equals bad data out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. So I think there's also that training component. That is something that would be helpful, like even before you deploy an agent.
Yeah.
to your participants is to actually try to enact it in human terms.
Yeah.
And then once they see the model of that role playing, and then you do like I do, we do and all that.
Yeah.
Then after that, then you have them engage with the tool.
Okay.
Because sometimes jumping into the tool doesn't make it easier for people to learn.
Yeah.
They have to go through the experience of it.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So you build this agent, you get
Yeah.
some feedback. If it doesn't work based on the feedback the way you wanted it to, do you have to completely unplug it and start all over from scratch?
So sometimes you do.
Okay.
You got to scrap it. Again, that ego thing. Sorry, too bad. You're just going to be like back into the
drawing board kind of
drawing
thing.
board.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe I was not in the right way of thinking, and let's go listen. And maybe it's not meant for you to create at this point. Sometimes that happens. So we're going to pause. We're going to take a moment, and then let's go look at other possibilities that we can create.
Okay. All right. Can you fine tune it in real time? So that way you don't have to take it down.
It depends.
Okay.
I would say I will take that response. It just depends on how quickly you'll be able to solve it. And you'll get that from your audience. You'll get that from your participants.
Yeah.
But if it is more in depth, because sometimes my brain will be like, ooh, I did not think of that. Let me write that down. So it keeps on branching out to different things. And so for a creator like me, would pause and take a moment to reflect. Okay, we're either going deep into the woods and it's giving you a suggestion that's totally different from what you planned. Or do we refocus and go head on and look at what exactly we're trying to solve here in the first place?
Okay. How long does it take you to build one from idea to, all right, I got feedback, I've reiterated, I've done things, this is 2.5 or what have you, it's ready?
So that's a great question. I think it depends again on the complexity of your idea.
Okay.
So something quick and easy, you can do it in a day or even in an hour.
Yeah.
But if you're going to see like different types of stakeholders who are going to be participants, then it's going to take more than a week. Because you're going to have to wait for feedback. It can be a month, depending on how quickly you get that feedback. Right?
Well, educators always reply within 24 hours, right?
They have all the time.
Unless you have an agent that replies for you.
There you go.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Okay. So you've given us some good things to think about. And
awesome.
Maybe people can start thinking about how they can build one for their own and their own needs as well.
Yeah.
And if they wanted to connect with you to get some more information, how can they connect with you on social media or online?
Well, I'm on X, or formerly Twitter. And Twix. So we're going to call it Twix.
That is courtesy of Carl Hooker. Yeah.
Oh my God, Carl, you're amazing. Thank you.
The best hooker I know. Yes.
Yes, definitely. So Twix, it would be Sharo Dickerson, SharoDickerson.
Okay. Sounds
and
good.
also I have my website, sharodickerson.com.
All right.
So reach out both ways, and I love to connect. Also in LinkedIn, you can find me under Sharo Dickerson.
And all that information is going to be in the show notes. That way you can connect with Sharo and see how to start building your own little army of bots.
Yeah.
And that to kind of not replace you, but help the critical thinking and maybe just get a quick answer. And then that way, when the connections happen in real time with real people, then we're more grounded. We know exactly what we're looking for, and we know exactly what we need to hone in on to get those outcomes.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I do have one last $1 million question for you. It's quite possibly the most important, difficult question you're going to be asked in the entire conference.
Give it to me.
All right. I want you to go with your gut. Go with what feels right. Don't overthink it.
Okay.
Corn tortilla or flour tortilla?
Corn tortillas.
Okay. All right. Corn tortillas. Team corn. I'm team corn.
Corn tortillas, baby.
I do have a follow-up question for you. Being that you're from New Mexico.
Yes.
Red or green?
Red.
Really?
Yes. It's red. I know. I know. Yeah, red for me.
Okay. I do Christmas.
Oh,
and
Christmas.
And if you don't know what we're talking about,
you got to go check it out.
Red chili or green chili.
Yes, it's both. You can have both.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Well, thank you for everything that you do, everything you contribute to our educational space, and for what you do for our students, our teachers, our staff, our faculty, our district office staff. And hopefully we can get some people taught up and, like you
Yeah,
said, kind of upskilled on training on bots. So
absolutely. Well, thank you so much too.
thank you.
Appreciate this.
Bye bye.